There, I am Holly McDonald with the Costa Mesa Pod, where we discuss all things concerning the lifestyle, businesses, and activities that make Costa Mesa such a great place to live. Today I have Jake with Infinite Wellness. Jake, thanks for being here. Yeah. Thank you again. I wanted you to share with everybody a little bit about what you do, where you're located, your business, all the things. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
So, my name is Jake. I'm the Infinite Wellness. So, we are a small wellness center here in Costa Mesa, located pretty close to the camp in South Coast Plaza. We basically do anything and everything under the umbrella of health and wellness. So, we have the red light therapy, we have the infrared saunas, we have the cold plunges, sound baths, compression therapy, like you see the athletes using. We do blood panels and stuff with a company called Merrick Health. So they're a lot more in depth and stuff on the markers, and a little bit more than you'd get if you went to your general practitioner. So do a little bit of all that. I do train people on the side as well, and I'm a licensed massage therapist. So training, recovery, relaxation, all that. We're kind of the one-stop shop, or what we're trying to be for any fitness or health goals and endeavors that we might be pursuing. So, yeah.
Awesome. And then where are you guys located in Costa Mesa?
So we're at 766 St. Clair Street, Costa Mesa, 92626. And we are pretty much right across from, I guess, one of the staple places in the camp is Rooster's Cafe. It has been there, I think, since I was in high school, like 10 plus years. So we're right there in the little roundabout in the cul-de-sac, so you might miss us, but we just got a big sign, and it's a big old gym, and we're right on the side of the building next to the boxing, like the rig and the boxing ring and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Awesome. And when did you guys open your doors?
So the gym, I think, was in 2021, and then us was about 6 months ago. We were just doing the renovation and kind of like the build out in here. And then just kind of testing to make sure, the power output was met and stuff like that, with a lot of power from the cold plunge and a lot from the sauna and everything like that. We wanted to make sure like there wasn't anything tripping the circuit. So we've been in business, I'd say, for about 6 months now.
Amazing. And tell me a little bit about your background and, why you started this particular business.
Of course. So a little bit about me. I grew up locally. I went to Canyon High School over in Anaheim Hills, and then I did my college degree over at Cal State Fullerton. I spent time in the exercise physiology program. So for those who know, maybe Dr. Galpin, a big name on the Huberman and the Peter Attia podcast, and Joe Rogan, got to study and work under him. And then I worked with some D1 athletes, and I was just always fascinated by kind of just keeping our health and wellness. And I've yo-yoed throughout my life with my weight and other things. So for me, I've always kind of come back to my health, and we have a million problems in our life until our health goes bad, and then we just have one. So that's a quote I love. And basically, I got up to 400 pounds. I had a health scare, brought me back down. I was watching my mom and everything, and she was terminally diagnosed with cancer, and so I was her caretaker for a while. And after my mom passed, I kind of fell out of sorts. My health scare kind of brought me back, and then I decided I was either going to continue my education or try to start a business. So I started something up in Huntington Beach, and then I was up over there, and we had a little gym there, and then basically the building manager was a little shady, and us and the tenants found out that he'd been taking all the money, and we got slapped with an eviction. I had nowhere to go. Funny enough, all my equipment and stuff I ended up finding here at Infinite, and the owner was actually my neighbor. So I grew up with him. I told him, hey, I'd love to add to the gym and everything, and he welcomed me with open arms, and here we are. Everything's been going great. Wonderful spot. It's been doing really well. Always packed with people, but never so much that you can't not get what you need. And since then, I've just been working on clients and kind of trying to get people everything all encompassing of health and wellness, because we know a lot of people in our life, people inherently know what's good food and stuff, but maybe they don't know how to apply, different behaviors or eating disorders. And my goal is to kind of bring all that here and encompass all of that. So we do a little bit of everything, right? You have to train well, eat well, hydrate, sleep, recover. And so we kind of looked at it as what's everything we could do to give somebody like the ultimate package of, taking care of themselves and kind of developing those positive behaviors and solidifying, a regimen for themselves in the most feasible way. Because we know, the mom of 3 is much busier than the kid in college who's got 10 units and has time to spend at the gym and stuff. So we're making sure it suits all different types of lifestyles. And yeah.
So it's not one size fits all that you guys do. You are very tailored to the individual.
Yes. Everybody here is very different, and we all live different lives. And so for us, it's finding those things that maybe you didn't see. I have one client who was struggling to lose weight. We did a food log. Found out when she would go to Nectar every day, she was getting 2 extra servings of peanut butter because she loved the peanut butter in her acai bowls. Sure enough, we dumped it down to 1, and within the month, down 7-10 pounds. And it's little changes like that. Whereas I have the blue collar construction worker coming to me all banged up. For us, it's about limiting pain and working through whatever he can, because he spends all day on a job site. So we kind of look at it as everybody is N equals 1, their own individual case, and how do we kind of give them what they need. And then part with that, if you're beat up, well, then maybe you need some manual therapy. Maybe I need to work on you a little bit. So we do the cupping, scraping, stuff like that. Or saunas, cold plunge, all the things you see on the health podcasts and stuff. We like to implement those, and we believe those fall in the hierarchy of priorities for health and wellness. So, your bottom is sleep, eat, food, nutrition, and training. And then the next one up is kind of supplements. What do you need? Your own individual. Are you vitamin D deficient? Blah, blah, blah. And then adding in sauna, red light, recovery, stuff like that, where get the rocks taken care of, and then we start to fill in the jar with the sand and fill it up for a wholesome approach,
Yeah. So for you personally, do you have a preference toward any one of those types of therapies? Do you prefer the sauna to the cold plunge, or I've always asked that.
So a lot of people prefer anything to the cold plunge, just because our cold plunge gets down to 38 degrees. So it's funny, you'll have people dip in, and I've had people come in, just general members go, I take cold showers. And I was like, this is definitely not like that. That's even different than the days where you used to get in a trash can and fill it up with ice and water. It's much, much colder. But the easiest, the lowest hanging fruit, easier barrier to entry is, I would say, the sauna. And why we like the sauna and stuff, if you don't know already, there's things called heat shock proteins. But what's happening is your body's heating up internally. It's creating these heat shock proteins. And then for people that are a little bit heavier set, we notice this is very helpful in dropping systolic and diastolic blood pressure. So people that don't maybe want to go to the gym just yet, but they want to start with something and trying to be active, this is a great start. And where we kind of take it, because there's a lot of loose data depending on who you reference and the studies you reference, but out in the northern European countries where saunas are staples, they have half of the cardiovascular events that happen, reduced all-cause mortalities. So really big things that would have very big payouts for somebody who might be sedentary. And also just you feel a lot better and you sleep better later at night. So we notice when we want to get into a deep sleep, our body tries to lower its core temperature. While with the sauna, you heat up, but it's a super physiological effect that happens. And then your body tries to compensate to bring it back down. And instead of going back down to 98 degrees, it drops a little lower. And then that fosters a deeper sleep for you. So we have people that come in at night, do the sauna and the red light, and they go home and they'll see on their Whoop strap or their Fitbit or their 8-Pod, and they'll be like, hey, are you feeling well rested today? Your heart rate was 6% lower. So there's a kind of a function where they all plug in. My personal favorite is the compression boots. So with athletes and everything, moving lymph, and we know with older populations, blood flow is a little bit poorer to the extremities because our heart sits up here. So down towards your feet, you might notice you have your aunt or your grandma and stuff with spider veins and varicose veins. Well, that's because the older we get, the harder it is for the heart to return blood back up to the body. So these things are great. They make your legs feel like, you're walking on cloud nine. For me, I have varicose veins and stuff. I was born with a genetic defect. So they make me feel really good. And then the red light is really interesting because you can just lay under it and people go, oh, it's just a red light. What's the big deal? Well, we're going to be doing an experiment with a couple people where we're going to cut both hands on the side and we're going to test kind of the claim that it helps with skin collagen production by, accelerating healing. And so people love tangible evidence. So, day 14, if there's nothing here but still the cut on the other side, we know there's something beneficial. And at the very least, outside of the cold plunge, all of these implements there's not really too many contraindications. So it's most people can come in and they'll feel good and kind of see a difference, or at least feel anecdotally like, hey, my legs feel better the next day. I slept really well. My chest hasn't been bothering me as much for the hypertensive individuals. So I think there is a lot of merit in all sorts of populations. Now, I don't want to say it's you need this more than you need to breathe air, but it is very important, especially if you're taking care of everything else in your life. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you do the massage too. So there's a lot of different benefits to that as well. Is there a specific type of massage that you do? Did I miss that?
So I went to school, just coming out of the pandemic. So we didn't get to work on as many bodies, but then we caught up later. So I primarily do sports massage. I like doing the cupping, the scraping, the body tempering. But then I've also later, my last emphasis was on lymphatic drainage. So working through it kind of, there's, I think, a lot going on in the health field with regards to lymphatic drainage. So a lot of the sculpting med spas, people do that and they're like, oh, I lost an inch. And that was moving the waste out. But also for cancer treatment, some individuals and stuff, they get edema and other things where you need to manually move that. And so I love that one because you can kind of see the difference. After you do manual lymph massage on some people, you'll see their urine might be like green or blue. Lights might be more bright and visual. And then, it's a whole host of different things. But basically we have that at our disposal as well. So lots to offer, but predominantly sports massage and lymphatic. So, yeah.
So I love to kind of tie in Costa Mesa to this podcast. And so you mentioned how you moved to Costa Mesa with your business kind of by chance, but I would love to hear from you about how you feel like your business fits into like the culture of Costa Mesa and really serves the community. I know you serve people outside of Costa Mesa, but in general, how does it fit in here?
Yeah, so when we first came down here, I only ever remember going to Costa Mesa for like South Coast Plaza, and I remember it was a place where people love to go shopping. Nowadays malls are, I think South Coast Plaza gets a lot of traffic still, but places like Main Place and other things, not as much. But I remember coming to the camp and seeing that was my first kind of taste of Costa Mesa, where it was like very unique. The architecture of every building, I think they're very lax with kind of how you do the build outs. So when we got here and everything, it just felt very laid back and relaxed. And, I've met some people here that have been residents for 20 plus years and they have their families here and they settle down. So I live over in Irvine, Lake Forest area. So coming out here, but on the weekends when I'm not in here and stuff, it's nice to stroll around the camp and kind of go around. They have a lot of unique food or eatery places and stuff like that. The taco stand is really good. And then Sidecar Donuts, I believe, is one out here. But it's always been super mellow and great weather and stuff. We're just close enough to the coast where it feels good and stuff, but not too much. And I love it here. And we're meeting more people as we go. But out of all the areas, the surrounding areas like Santa Ana, Huntington Beach, Irvine and stuff, I really feel like Costa Mesa just has a different vibe. is very relaxed, easygoing. So I love coming here. It makes work a lot easier too when you drive to your place and you see, nice areas and just friendly people all around. I haven't had a bad interaction yet, knock on wood, but everything's been good so far.
Good. Yeah. Well, and you're right. You're in like a very cool hub of Costa Mesa over at the camp and everything. Like it's such a like creative sort of area. There's just a lot of interesting shops like you mentioned. And I think a lot of people do think of Costa Mesa and think of that like unusual and just mellow kind of vibe. So it's great that your location is over there. A lot of people head to that area, just for everything that there is to do there.
Yeah. Well, and everybody, like, it's so unique that we saw there's like a baseball training facility right across from like a pottery shop where you do the makeshift on the Friday nights, or the wine and painting class, and then you have the Salty Bear and some of these very like unique like indie type feel places. And so on the weekends you'll see people just walking around in the evenings and stuff, going across food trucks and everything. Like, just feels like a very like you're surrounded, but in the best way, right? Like, there's a bunch of people here. Life is going on in a bunch of different ways through different lenses, and just feels kind of cool. It feels like some type of embrace being in this area. So I love it. We're very happy where we're at.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Austin by any chance?
Austin, Texas or
Texas.
No, I have not.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, just the way you were even describing it, that part of Costa Mesa, for anybody that might be from a different area, like kind of has that Austin vibe. Like Austin prides itself on being a little bit unusual, and artsy and everything. And that area of Costa Mesa really kind of exhibits that too. So
maybe that's why I've heard the phrase "keep Austin weird," like, because it's got such a unique vibe. Yeah. Okay. I've seen that somewhere, but I've never been. So exactly.
Yeah. Well, Jake, do you guys have any social media presence or anything that you want to share that I can put in the description?
So you can check out us through Infinite Training's website. So we keep that all on the Instagram to keep it consolidated and everything. So you can always look us up on there. We just got our Yelp page cleared, so you can come check us out. We'll be having reviews and testimonials falling through shortly, I'm sure, just because now we got it all handled. And then for any of the audience and stuff, you're more than welcome to visit us. Our hours are from 8 to 9 most days and stuff. We usually do by appointment only, but I'm here most days. And then our first session is always free. So at the very least, come check it out, see if it's something that fits kind of what you're looking for. And the gym and the wellness space and everything, I think we have a really good combination of therapies and training implements, like just everything you want. But yeah, I'd say Yelp, and then our Infinite Training on there. And then I do have flyers and the other stuff too. They're in some of the local businesses, so if you're trying to find us, I'm sure you'll get very close, and it shouldn't be too hard to find. So yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, I hope everybody goes, go check them out, give them a free trial, and go review them after you have a wonderful experience. And welcome you guys to Costa Mesa.
Yeah, and keep Costa Mesa weird, I guess, too, right? Like, it's all good.
Exactly.
Awesome.
All right, Jake. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Holly. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.